Hey everyone, Rotary Dialer here. Welcome back. Just gonna hop on to our LAN server and mess around, maybe show you around the Nether like I talked about last time. So yeah, it's been a good week here. It's a little late, so I don't think I'm gonna be playing very long, but yeah, I figured just hop on, mess around, and spend a little time before going to bed. Need to get a chest closer with some of the mine carts there. Figure out a rail system. Oh, boom! Hate when that happens, but anyway, let me just organize a few things, and then we'll hop into the Nether, and I'll pick up from where we were last time. Okay, done with all my fastidious organization. Let's get into the Nether. Let's get my shield on and try to get my different things going. So let's show you around in here. So as I mentioned last time, I was initially very reluctant to go into the Nether. My playstyle is such, until I understand something, I just don't want to do it. And I was so busy, or focused rather, on just understanding the overworld, exploring the overworld. I was kind of and the Nether kind of freaked me out, frankly. I knew my son would go in and get killed by hoglins and lose all his stuff, not know where he was, so I just took my time with it. But anyway, this is our main little Nether base. Again, because I was kind of nervous about exploring, I tended to not want to venture far from a shelter. So we have this little shelter here, and then most of what we've got going on, I just dug lots and lots and lots of tunnels. And I took a long time doing it, which is fine. It was fun. So we've got this little trapdoor going down here. See if I can remember the directions. Okay, west, north that way, east. This is kind of the most extensive set of tunnels we have going off this way. What I tended to do is I would arrive at somewhere in the overworld first, and then I'd want to build, I'd explore like I showed the map last time. Then I'd want to build a quicker way to get there. So we had this place called the Mushroom Base. I don't even think we use it anymore, do we? Is the Mushroom Base this way? Dang it, I don't remember where it is. I think it was down this way. But anyway, so I would try to build a shortcut there, and I would just go straight to the coordinates. I'd do the little divide by 8 and then go straight to the coordinates. I will say for a long time I really did not enjoy the Nether. I was too nervous I was going to fall in lava and lose everything. And one thing that helped with that was getting fire resistance potions. Most of this exploration I did before having potions. So let me show you the first big bridge I built. That was quite nerve-wracking to do it. So this here, I wanted to put I wanted to build a portal to a spot in the overworld that I thought I'd travel to a lot more than I actually did. So I built this whole long, like right over the lava, just going, 3 blocks at a time, 3 wide, and then putting all these slabs everywhere so I wouldn't fall off. Now, I hadn't even seen a ghast at this point, or it was rare that I had seen them. I hadn't dealt with them. So whenever I heard one, I kind of freaked out and ran back. You can see in the beginning of this, I even built this this glass roof here. Actually, did I build this just initially to get to that bastion remnant, or did I build it to get to I think my ultimate goal was to build it to get to this particular spot. So this was going to bring us to a village that was in across the way from a cherry biome. It was kind of a nice little spot. I thought we might make a base over there. So anyway, I built all this out just to get to here. Do I not have a... Okay, so you see that village over there? I thought that was pretty interesting. It's at the top of this cliff. Thought it was pretty scenic. There's a really super janky bridge going across. I'd like to build something aesthetic for that. But I think this was the first cherry biome I found, so I thought, oh, there's a village right across from it. Cool, we'll relocate, so on and so forth. We never did. That's all fine. So going back in, but yeah, eventually I just spent more time exploring around. Let me show you some of the other tunnels I built and places where it can get us. So a lot of the stuff ends up being really circuitous and kind of windy, mazy. That was the first Bastion remnant my son and I tried raiding. I think it was a Bridges remnant. Didn't really find much interesting in there. Kind of headed up this way. Now I really try to keep it to building tunnels and bridges everywhere. Right around here is where I started thinking, okay, it's just too time consuming. I need to feel a little willing to run around in the open and just risk it, right? Risk getting shot at by a ghast. Risk, yeah, there's a ghast right there. And so what I tended to build now are all these little structures that'll just give me some, despawn just in time, just to give me some shelter. So I put these glass panes up, just make it so I can see the ghasts, but I can have somewhere to run relatively easily to deal with them. Things of that nature. So one of the things I want to point out is how much I dislike the Nether without shaders. So right now I'm using complementary unbound shaders, and I feel like I can see an appropriate distance. It doesn't feel like cheating. When I turn the shaders off, and this was my initial experience with the Nether, it just feels like I can't see. Like I can't see until I get super close. What's over there? It just makes everything feel too closed in. And I am assuming that's an intentional design, and maybe the developers don't want you to be able to see this far, but has found it too unpleasant to explore around with not being able to see that far, right? I can't see really that there's a warped forest over there. So I just found that it's not like it's claustrophobic exactly. It just feels like it just looks uglier, and it feels like I can't see as far as I think I should be able to see. So I don't know. I don't know what you think of that, but anyway, I'll just kind of run around randomly to a few more spots where I've got portals everywhere. It's interesting as I'm starting to put things together from the overworld. Like I'll say, oh, here's a mangrove. Let me just build a gate here, and it'll be right next to something else. So this was a spot where I could import frogs to bring to a treasure room, which maybe I'll hit that treasure room Yeah, let me do that now. In fact, the treasure room is up this way. Might as well go that way. This is kind of a ghetto zombie piglin farm. I don't really use it. If I'm super bored, I'll just shoot an arrow at one of these guys and let them come at me while I'm holed up in there. But so far, I don't really find that all too interesting. So again, once I started using shaders, and I was kind of against using them for a while, I thought, no, let me play with it looking the way Mojang intended it to look. But the Nether specifically, I just find if I don't have these shaders on, I don't actually want to be in the Nether. So a lot of this I discovered before using chunk base. I kept saying crunch base last episode. Sorry about that. This was the first treasure room we found. And we built a little, it's funny how I see now I kind of overbuilt everything. We built a little mini base here. We thought we would take forever raiding it. Again, I did this very kind of slowly and methodically. I was freaked out by piglin brutes. So, we dug our way through and used a bunch of scaffolding to get around. Now I know this is cleared, and so I just have a ladder going down. I haven't been here in a while, so I kind of forget I have the setup. Here's this little base room we have. Okay, yeah. Okay, this is not the one that where we have frogs. We have another one with a bunch of frogs in it. Empty these out, right? Yep. I think I was just farming magma cream here for a while. Anyway, we have another one where we built a whole little building around the magma cube spawner. I think we spawn-proofed the entire floor, or not spawn-proofed it. We added slabs and what have you to the entire floor. I actually forget what is through this portal here. Is this some cave or something? Yeah. This didn't go anywhere. Let me see. What biome is this? This is yeah, deep lukewarm ocean. Okay, so this ended up kind of a big nothing, but guess that's what you get when you do a whole bunch of random portals everywhere. I'm always paranoid that I'm going to run out of obsidian, so I'm always trying to maximize the amount of obsidian I get from these. Anyway, back in. Let's go back on out. No point in messing around with these magma cubes. So now I need to now I need to remember the remnant where I have all the frogs. I think we only have the one. Okay, there's something. So the convention I use to kind of breadcrumb my way around are these: a piece of cobblestone with a torch on top. I'm forgetting what goes that way, so I'm not going to bother going that way. And of course I leave signs around. These are mostly for my kids, not to get lost. So what's funny about my play style, since this is a server my kids play on, you'll notice everything is kind of, not everything, but there's a lot of railings around, and I'll watch my kids clay, and they're running across like a 1 block wide bridge over a lake of lava, and I'm like, ugh. So I'll go behind him, I'll make it 3 wide, and I'll make sure they can that there's railing so they won't fall in. Twice my son has fallen in lava, and usually he reacts pretty quickly and he logs off real quick. And then both times I've built like a bridge to where he logged off, where he fell in. I try to bring splash potions of fire resistance to hit him with. It hasn't worked, but it has worked for me to catch some of his stuff as he dies. So anyway, I find myself just in dad mode, often trying to make things safer for them in the game. All right, so this way I know is to sort of the eastern part of the map, the overworld. We have a village, I think we named it Sand Whale, because there's a little rock formation that looks like a whale, and it's a desert village, so it's in the sand. Oh, I'm very hungry. Okay, so now just ignore that guy. So there's a gate in there that I think goes to nowhere good. This, I think, leads to Sand Whale. Oh, there we are. Okay, so here was the beginnings of another map wall. Didn't get far with it, did I? I thought I'd be exploring out to the east quite a bit. And that's why but you see that rock formation? Where is it? Well, let me just get up here. Yeah, so you see this kind of rock formation? This little gray spot. That's why we named this village Sand Whale. So this is sort of the easternmost part. If we were going to explore further east, we would do it from here. And yeah, now let me head back. Let me put this. And I brought some trees over to plant them and have some wood to build with, since there's nothing but desert and mesa around here. All right. Let me try to remember now. I know I fell into the lava over this way, so I'm not going to do that again. And typically, I try not to wander around the Nether without a fire resistance potion on me, just because it's twice it has saved my butt to have that. So let me get out of my ender chest. Yep, I just like to keep this right here. Having an ender chest kind of changed the game for me too. Just being able to have stuff that I might need at various points on hand. All right, so we're coming from the east. Now we're going to go way west and north. Hey, don't see you guys in here very often. All right, so yeah, Cherry Top was the name of that town I showed you a bit ago. This was a platform I mean, this is how freaked out I was by ghasts at the time. I even made like platforms to try to shoot at them. They rarely spawn here now, but that was kind of my number one fear before I just dealt with them a few times. That was before I had ever swatted a fireball back at one. This is the way to, I think, a very close treasure room. Is this the one where we have the frogs? I don't think so. It's amazing how quickly I forget. I played here not a few weeks ago. Oh yeah, this is where we have the frogs. Okay. So this is a little janky, but so we got some frogs. Oh, it's only, oh, there's two. So what I do is I let the magma cube spawn in there, and I slash at them or shoot at them. We had more frogs in there. I think I ended up killing some by mistake. And it was my son's idea to put a bunch of hoppers in there. Initially, I'm like, why are you doing all that? We'll just grab in, run in and grab them. What was that? Oh, saw me. All right, so there's a magma cube. Great. So this always feels a little dicey to hop in here and get them. Looks like a little one. So, okay. I would just come here and there we go. 22 lights already. 23. Oh, more than that. 27 total. All right, cool. So that's that. And I think if I go through here, I actually created a little frog farm on the other end of this. So let's take a look at that. Yeah, look at that. Have these guys popped out of here. Yeah, hey guys. Still got quite a few tadpoles in here and spawn. And do I have... Well, hey, might as well bring a few more back in to the Nether. get my, I keep some leads in my ender chest. Let me get those out. All right. 3 more frogs. Whoa, yeah, that's what I'm nervous about. Come on, bud. I do not want to die in here. Okay, very cool. Alrighty. Alrighty, let's get out of here while our luck is going well. Woo. Like I said. Ooh. Alrighty. Now let's get out of here while our luck is good. Alright, so it turns out our frogs are pretty close to our base. Way on the other side, we have a snowy base where we have a breeding house for our green frogs. Don't believe I brought those into a treasure room yet. I won't show you that today. I'll save that for next time just because it's pretty far out of the way. I think what I'll do tonight is just end on the bridge we made to the north and west. And actually this is the first really long bridge that we did. Yeah, and I'm proud of my son for this one. This one, the Melon Field, we don't use that anymore. To Desert Village. I really wanted to get over to where we found a desert. So I built this bridge. Okay, and I thought, wow, that's a pretty long bridge. Enclosed it in glass, all that. And I kept digging through here. Great. Putting carpet as I went. This was to spawn proof the tunnels. I don't bother with this too much anymore, but I was doing that for a while. Now I got to here and I thought, okay, this is going to be a long one, so I stopped. I tell you, I came back, my son had built this entire thing by himself. See, he did it 2 wide. I probably would have done it 3 wide. That's fine. He did this all by himself, and he even had the wherewithal to raise it up as we got closer to the destination. He knew where we wanted to get, so he started building it up. This was great. So I went away for a day and came back, and he had already completed this bridge all by himself. And we ended up building it out more this way. But this, when I was showing you the map wall last time, I'll show you the secondary map wall we have here. Oh goodness. What are you doing out? All right, let me sleep, please. Great. Excellent. All right, let's deal with those creepers quick, and then all right, now we'll show you this map wall. So if you remember last time, there was a spot in the upper, let me just clear my hands here. There's a spot kind of in the upper left that was showing Desert Village, okay? That's this map here. So the upper left of our last map wall begins here. And I just started exploring out. And again, this took me, I probably spent a week or more doing just this map. Again, this was zoomed out twice. As I got over to sort of this area, I started hitting a lot of ocean, just open ocean, and I got bored and ended up giving up. But really found some neat things. So this, I've got this lush cave village I want to explore at some point. Meaning there's a desert village and there's some azalea trees, and if you go down, there's a lush village underneath. Sorry, a lush cave underneath. One thing I definitely notice is the villages. So I think this is a village here. They're really hard to spot when they're in deserts, if you just are looking at the map. Whereas villages in the other areas, forested areas, are not hard to spot at all. So this is where this kind of stopped, which is fine. I think we found like there's a jungle over this way, I think, with a buried treasure and stuff like that. So I used to come here and I would go, what is this? I think this is west. Yeah, west. I used to come here and strike out west a lot to explore this. My son found an ocelot over this way and we brought it back together. That's in his room in our base now. So anyway, those are some of the basics of our Nether system, our whole transit system. Right now it's very much like running around in a maze to get places. I have signs up to try to jog my memory which way I want to go. I also have a notebook with locations, points of interest, stuff like that written down, and where the gates are, coordinates of the overworld that correspond to the Nether portals and so on. So yeah, this has been a fun exercise. Maybe I'll show one more direction that I go in often. Ever since we discovered, it took us a while to find out where the first fortress was. So maybe I'll show the way to that, and then I'll end it for tonight. So we've got, oh yeah, our mushroom base is right there. Again, this used to feel like a long haul to get from here to here. We just never use that base anymore. Cherry top eastward, and then south to Initially it was just one fortress. There's a couple fortresses this way. And so now this is kind of the most common direction we'll go in. Hoglin, what are you doing? I put a bunch of these warped fungi around to keep them at bay. They just get annoying to deal with after a while. Now, oh, am I? Yeah, I'm not wearing gold, am I? Okay, he de-aggroed. That's great. Now, along this route is, it's pretty common for me to run into ghasts. So I have all these little hidey holes that I can pop into and shoot out arrows at. Now I had Soul Speed 3 boots. Yeah, there we go. Usually I'll just, if I can ignore the ghasts, I will, but... So yeah, here's another little kind of hidey hole base. Now, off that way is where our first fortress was, and off this way is where our snowy base is. So let me gather this stuff and then show you where our fortress... What is going on? All this stuff is on fire. I shouldn't be putting it out with that, should I? Oh. So something must have gone on here. I think my... Yep, something. All right, let's get into safety here. Alrighty, what you got? Okay, so I think my son must have been running around over here and a whole bunch of stuff got caught on fire. So I'm not sure what I want to do. I don't know if I want to go over there. Again, this is a thing I'll do after a ghast blasts a spot away. I'll usually go back and try to repair it. I don't have any blocks on me now. Yeah, this is some wild stuff. Okay. This looks all right. We're gonna go... I'll have to bring some repair blocks around next time, so okay. Yeah, something must have gone on here. All right. This way looks pretty safe. Up here... even this. Alrighty. And something to point out is the amount of time it took to get over here, because we didn't really have soul speed at the time. What is going on? I have not been over here. All these blocks are crazy. gathering these to maybe patch some of those holes over there on the way back. Yeah, this is wild. What is going on? Okay, so here's our little, this is the first Nether fortress we found. So we built this out together. I actually forget what is through there at the moment. Maybe I'll take a peek, but then you can come on up in here. And we can even attack these blazes from here. All right. And I've got my looting sword. Oof. Oof. There's a lot of stuff right now. So I keep switching between the swords because I don't care too much about getting a wither skeleton skull, so just using my smite sword on him. I am often thinking about repairing so I will often try to have things in the offhand that need to be repaired. Alright, enough of this. I got distracted. Going back on down. One last thing of distraction. I just want to remember what's through this nether portal. And I used to do this, I'd have these around in case I need to put myself out, but I tend not to ever use those. The cauldron's full of water. Oh, okay. I remember this now. Let me sleep quick and then I'll say. Okay, I was just thinking about this spot before. So I remember mentioning that I was on a tear to look for a snowy biome. So this is where I came pretty far south. And I decided, okay, I'm just going to keep going south. So I think we're up here, right? So I just came super far down and I was like, dang it, I'm going to find a snowy biome. And I never did. So I think this map wall was my last sort of ditch before trying chunk base. So we're pretty far south here. I don't think I'll be expanding on this at all. I kind of forget what this is. Is that Froston? That might be Froston. There was a town I found with a nether portal right inside it, and so we named it Froston because it seemed a little fraught to have a nether portal right inside your town. So anyway, all right, let me head back. Okay, here he asked. Yeah, I gotta be careful. We might be missing a couple blocks where I'm expecting there to be blocks. I don't think I'm going to bother filling these in with wood. Seems a little strange to have wood here anyway. Alright, now I know if I jump over there, there's lava. Wow, that's a lot of zombie piglins. Okay. Let me end it here. Next time I'll bring you over that way. That way is a pretty strangled route to our snowy base, which takes us way south. So, thanks for watching. I'm just going to close this out and head to bed now.